The next morning, Chen Luo arrived in H City alone. He clearly remembered, in his past life, Zhang Chushui's father was a local magnate here. Only after their base fell did she go to seek refuge with Mylene. Soon, Chen Luo spotted a group of survivors nearby. He immediately took out a pack of cigarettes and approached them to inquire about Zhang Chushui. Upon hearing this, one of the men arrogantly responded, "Bro, the person you're asking about is the daughter of our boss. Take my advice, don't have any wicked thoughts about our young lady. My big brother is a level 6 strongman. Besides, not just anyone can join our base." Upon hearing this, Chen Luo immediately responded, "I'm not just any Tom, Dick, or Harry. I also have a level 5 physical system. Could you introduce me?" The man listened and said, "Well, I'll have to test whether you really have level 5 strength." Saying this, the man suddenly threw a punch at him. There was a loud thump, and the punch felt as if it had hit a steel plate. Seeing this, the man grinned. "Didn't expect you to really be a level 5 strongman. My apologies. I'll introduce you to join the base right away." Although Chen Luo successfully infiltrated, how would he abduct a young lady living in such comfort? Using resources to lure her definitely wouldn't work, since a base this size wouldn't lack for that. Given this, he'd have to resort to some tricks. First, he snuck into the food storage in the middle of the night, collecting all the food in the base into his special ability space. On his way out, he didn't forget to steal Zhang Chushui's pet Samoyed. When they went to distribute food to the base members the next day, they found that thousands of tons of food in the guarding Samoyed had mysteriously disappeared. This scared Zhang Tiancheng quite a bit. A base without food is a base without a future. Soon enough, members who heard the news chose to leave the base. In just 2 days, more than half of the base members had left. Seeing this, Zhang Chushu quickly suggested seeking food loans from other bases. Otherwise, their base would be done for. Just as things were going bad, a subordinate suddenly burst in and yelled, "Boss, we're in trouble. People from the neighboring country are causing problems again. I heard their leader has now broken through to level 7. Upon hearing this, Zhang Chushu said, "Didn't we just beat them back recently? Why have these bandits come again?" Zhang Tiancheng immediately ordered to gather all their brothers, saying, "No matter what, we'll defend our land to the last drop of blood. We will not back down." All these words were heard by Chen Luo, who was standing outside the door. He originally wanted to hide in the dark, watch the two sides fight, and then reap the benefits. But in the end, reason prevailed over desire, thinking, "Today, I'll make sure these ignorants never return." Meanwhile, on the other side, Zhang Tiancheng had gathered all his remaining men, preparing for a life-and-death battle with the bandits from the neighboring country. However, just as Zhang Tiancheng was about to order to move out, a young man suddenly started laughing, shouting for the glory of my country. "Take this, my deathly poison explosion." Then the man's body suddenly began to inflate wildly. With a loud boom, an explosion happened, and a mist of poison sprayed across the entire hall. Although the poison was not lethal, it was strong enough to make the affected lose their fighting abilities instantly. Zhang Tiancheng never dreamt that one of the core members of his base would actually be a spy from another country. Seems like fate really wants me gone. But just then, Chen Luo suddenly walked in with his hands in his pockets, muttering, "Don't panic. I alone am enough." Hearing this, Zhang Tiancheng immediately responded, "Young man, what nonsense are you talking about? They have an army of millions. What can you do against them?" But Chen Luo grinned and said, "All you have to do is close the doors and enjoy the show. No need for Leader Zhang to worry about how I'll fight them. But I have one condition. Once I've taken them down, this young lady will have to come with me." Deal? Zhang Tiancheng thought this kid must be crazy, remembering that when he joined, he was registered as having a level 5 physical system. No matter how tough you are, can you withstand an assault from tens of thousands? Seeing this, Chen Luo didn't waste any more words, and directly walked out of the hall. At this moment, Jin Haoyu had already led an army of 50,000 to the city's edge. However, when Chen Luo made his entrance, he instantly stunned everyone. Chen Luo then slowly floated into the air, yelling, "Prepare to meet your end." Seeing this, everyone was immediately frozen in place, wondering, how can this man fly? Zhang Chushui was full of disbelief, thinking to herself, wasn't he just a level 5 in physical abilities? How is this possible? Little did she know that, for those with abilities who reach level 10, they can acquire the power of flight. Although Chen Luo is currently only at level 8, with his dual element abilities, his actual power level is equivalent to level 10. At that moment, Chen Luo suddenly flew towards the army, frightening Jin Haoyu, who immediately shouted, "Focus fire and bring him down. I can't believe an army of 50,000 can't handle a single fly." At that point, Chen Luo had already charged up his ultimate move. After he shouted Space Pulse, a series of spatial fluctuations instantly burst forth from his hands. This large-scale move immediately wiped out a large number of enemies below level 7. Just then, Jin Haoyu smugly said, "I thought your attack was going to be impressive. It didn't even break my earth shield." However, Chen Luo coldly responded, "You don't think I can only do it once, do you?" Without further ado, Chen Luo unleashed a flurry of space pulses. The spectacle made Jin Haoyu's legs give way, and he fell to his knees. Zhang Keshua and her father on the city wall were sweating bullets, muttering, "How is this possible? Didn't he say he was in the physical abilities category? What level of power does one need to achieve this?" Seeing this, Jin Haoyu immediately cast gravity magic on Chen Luo. Chen Luo paused for a moment, then stopped what he was doing. Jin Haoyu then yelled, "Brothers, run. I've slowed him down. He'll struggle to move even a meter." However, before he could finish, Chen Luo used Void Walk to appear right in front of him. He coldly said, "Your gravity magic did have some effect on me. You've managed to reduce my 500-meter sprint speed by a whole 2 meters." With that, Chen Luo lunged at him at an astonishing speed, muttering, "Since you've broken through to level 7, you must have a high-grade crystal on you, right?" This scared Jin Haoyu considerably, who hastily unleashed his earth shield in an attempt to block Chen Luo. With a clank, the impregnable earth shield was shattered by a single palm strike from Chen Luo, who then slapped Jin Haoyu on the forehead. Jin Haoyu immediately bled from 7 orifices and died on the spot. This scene stunned Zhang Tiancheng, exclaiming, "What level of power does this kid have? He just killed a level 7 with a single slap. What is his real purpose for infiltrating my base?" Upon hearing this, one of the underlings hurriedly said, "This guy came for the young lady. He was asking about her even before he entered the base." Hearing this, Zhang Tiancheng thought that Chen Luo was interested in his daughter, thinking to himself, "Not only is he incredibly strong, but he also seems to be patriotic. Zhang Chusho would not suffer if she stayed with him. So, regardless, this kind of outstanding talent must not be allowed to leave." So he immediately took him upstairs for a discussion. He got straight to the point, saying, "If you're willing to stay, I'll not only set you up with my daughter, but also make you the second in command of our base. What do you say, brother Chen Luo?" However, without a second thought, Chen Luo rejected the offer, saying, "I just want to take your daughter, Zhang Chusho, away." Hearing this, Zhang Tiancheng froze, thinking to himself, "Damn you, Chen Luo. I wanted you to become my son-in-law, but you want to make me a lonely old man." Then he sternly said, "If you don't want to be my son-in-law, fine. But don't most families offer some dowry when marrying off their daughters? I won't ask for much. 200 pigs as dowry should be reasonable, right?" Actually, he didn't mean to sell his daughter. He just wanted to deter Chen Luo from running away with Zhang Chusho, hoping that he would stay. Chen Luo immediately responded, "Aren't you just trying to make things difficult for me? With the way the world is now, there probably aren't even 200 live pigs left in the entire world." Upon hearing this, Zhang Tiancheng said, "You have 2 choices. One is to stay, and I will set you up with Zhang Chusho. The second is to leave the way you came in. Make your choice." Chen Luo realized he was being deliberately difficult, so why should he continue negotiating? Then Chen Luo seriously said, "Do you know what time it is now, Mr. Zhang?" Zhang Tiancheng, without a second thought, told him it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. "So, are you in a rush?" But who would have thought? Just as his words fell, Chen Luo suddenly changed his tone and turned the tables on him. "What I'm saying is, this is the end of the world. What right do you have to negotiate terms with me? You haven't forgotten my abilities just now, have you? You also have 2 choices before you. One is for me to forcibly take your daughter away. Or 2, you can try to persuade Zhang Chusho to willingly come with me. You wouldn't want to see your daughter crying as I abduct her, would you?" Upon hearing this, Zhang Tiancheng broke out in a cold sweat, thinking to himself, how did this kid change his face faster than flipping a book? With no choice, he asked Chen Luo where he intended to take Zhang Chusho. Chen Luo told him, "I have a base as well. People like you at level 6 wouldn't even rank in my place. My idea is to build a super base, so he can better survive in the post-apocalyptic world. That's why I want to take Zhang Chusho with me. You can bring your elite members along too." Whether you want to join us or go your own way is up to you. Also, I must warn you, H city will soon face unprecedented heavy rainfall, which will flood the city completely. If you don't leave now, you'll have to leave then." With that, Chen Luo turned to leave, but happened to encounter Zhang Chusho standing at the door. Suddenly, an idea struck him. He asked Zhang Chusho, who was at level 6, to use her time-stopping ability on him. If she could freeze him, it would indicate she had king-level potential. Without hesitation, Zhang Chusho released her ability on him. In the next second, Chen Luo was frozen in place. Sure enough, this girl has the makings of a king-level powerhouse. What's strange, though, was that although my body was frozen, my internal powers still circulated. In my previous life, even my abilities were frozen when I was stopped. What's going on? Could it be related to my awakened time ability? After being frozen for 3 seconds, Chen Luo immediately asked her to cast the spell on him again. This scared Zhang Chusho quite a bit, thinking to herself, I only stopped him for such a short time. This Chen Luo is truly unfathomable. She then cast the time-stopping spell on Chen Luo once more. However, this time she couldn't even freeze him for a second, as he used his time ability to break free from the freeze. This delighted him immensely, thinking to himself, as I thought, in my previous life, only time-stopping could limit me, the king of the void. In this life, I'll be an invincible existence. At least, there's no ability that can restrain me anymore. Meanwhile, on another front, a young lady named Yi Xing had actually replicated the Elder Badge of Dawn City, and she was about to use this badge for something earth-shattering. A week later, Chen Luo returned to Dawn City with the newly subdued Zhang Chusho and her father. But as soon as they entered the base, the members immediately surrounded them, saying, "Brother Chen, you're finally back. Big things have happened in Divine Capital while you were gone. A brazen young lady actually forged our Elder Badge and wiped out a base using Dawn City's name." Hearing this, Chen Luo was shocked, thinking, I remember renaming the base to Dawn City before I left, right? How come someone is already using our name to scam people so quickly? And this Elder Badge was made by Long Yu with anti-counterfeit features. How did that crazy woman manage to forge it? Just then, Mi Li, who had heard of Chen Luo's return, immediately ran excitedly towards him and threw herself directly into his arms, making Zhang Chusho, who had affection for Chen Luo, feel uncomfortable. At that moment, Mi Li sweetly said, "It's all my fault for not being careful enough to let Yi Xing join the base. She exploited the loophole, but we've already captured her." Chen Luo did not blame Mi Li, instead asking her where Yi Xing was being held. Soon after, Chen Luo came to the room where she was imprisoned, then coldly said, "You're quite audacious, daring to use the name of my base to commit murder. Also, our Elder Badge can withstand high temperatures of up to 1,000 degrees. How did you forge it?" Yi Xing told him she had only copied the appearance, and because Dawn City's reputation had already been well established, nobody dared to question the authenticity of the Elder Badge. Upon hearing this, Chen Luo immediately asked, "Why did you wipe out that base then?" Upon hearing this question, Yi Xing clenched her teeth and said, "Because their leader took a liking to me. When I refused, those beasts killed my brother." While Chen Luo deeply sympathized with her, he said, "Regardless, impersonating an elder from my base and issuing fake orders is a crime." Then he turned and left, knowing well that he couldn't be soft-hearted in such matters. He must make a public execution to serve as a warning. Otherwise, everyone will follow suit in the future. Just then, Chen Guang suddenly ran over and shouted, "Brother Chen, there's an urgent and tricky situation. Please come quickly. Someone has brought a mysterious corpse outside seeking our protection. The corpse is really strange. Several of our elders have gone to look at it, but none could inflict any damage on it." Upon hearing this, Chen Luo was immediately alarmed, wondering, could it be a king-level mutated corpse? Only a corpse at the king level would be this tough. With this thought, Chen Luo instantly used a void walking technique and disappeared from the spot. Upon closer inspection, he was delighted to find that it was indeed a king-level corpse. This made Chen Luo extremely happy. Although dual-element ability users need to absorb twice as much energy for advancement, as long as I absorbed this king-level crystal, my power could at least reach the peak of level 9. Chen Luo then immediately asked the man why he was seeking protection. The man promptly replied, "My name is Xiao Jane. I just came to Divine Capital and was robbed by 2 groups of people. I heard that leader Chen provides protection here. I wanted to offer you the crystal, but the corpse is too hard. I've tried everything, but can't inflict any damage." I guess the level of the crystal inside should be quite high. Would this qualify for your protection? Upon hearing this, Chen Luo instantly ordered, from now on, I, Chen Luo, will protect brother Xiao Jing. Anyone who dares to touch him will be against me in Dawn City. Chen Guang, given that brother Xiao Jing has been robbed, his home probably has little food. Take 20 tons of rice and 1 ton of potatoes to him. Chen Luo felt it would weigh on his conscience to not offer something in return for the king-level crystal. Hearing this, Xiao Jing was moved to tears and loudly exclaimed, "Thank you, Leader Chen, for your generous reward." Then Chen Luo took the king-level corpse back to his own yard, immediately conjured a void sword, and made a hole in it. Looking at the huge king-level crystal, Chen Luo estimated that he could advance to level 9 within 2 or 3 days. Meanwhile, on the other side, due to sudden heavy rains causing flooding in multiple areas, a large number of refugees have flooded into Divine Capital. Among them was a man named Jiyu Changfeng, who claimed to have some power and immediately wanted to occupy others' bases. Boasting that he was a level 7 strongman, he said, "Surrender now, and you may be spared." People who heard this immediately scoffed. A level 7? How impressive. Our Divine Capital's Dawn City's leader, Chen Luo, may even be at level 9 by now. You guys are many and strong today, so we yield. I'm going to seek protection from Leader Chen right now. Then the man led all his members to evacuate the base. However, Jiyu Changfeng showed no martial ethics, and immediately launched a surprise attack on those who surrendered. Shouting, "Don't let them escape. Kill them all to eliminate future troubles." Soon, nearly all members of this base were slaughtered by them. At that moment, one of them, while attacking the remaining members, arrogantly said, "Is every base in Divine Capital this weak?" A member lying on the ground disdainfully replied, "Bullyingness isn't an accomplishment. Try saying that in Dawn City." But Jiyu Changfeng's men dismissed it, boasting, "We'll try. We came here to dominate Divine Capital." Meanwhile, another group of refugees had also arrived in Divine Capital. Among them, a level 6 nature element ability user named Ling Weiwei was heading for Chen Luo's Dawn City. Her teammates had heard that their place particularly valued nature elements, especially those like her who have improved seed technology. However, they heard that the base had already developed seeds that could increase yields by 50%. Hearing this, Ling Weiwei was stunned. She thought her seeds, which could increase yields by 30%, were already impressive. She didn't expect someone in Dawn City to be even more proficient. Her teammates told her about a large exchange meeting in Dawn City the next day. Not only would seeds be distributed for free, but they would also recruit qualified ability users. Hearing this, Ling Weiwei immediately said, "Let's go then." Little did she know that this decision would make her regret for the rest of her life. 2 years ago, due to workplace setbacks and extreme mental stress, she had a violent temperament and even had cruel thoughts. A stray dog accidentally bumped into her, and she crazily cut off a piece of the dog's ear. What she didn't expect was, that dog not only survived, but also became the dog elder in Dawn City after the apocalypse. The next day, tens of thousands of people arrived at the exchange meeting, obviously more than twice as many as the last time. Chen Luo had also heard that many people had come to Divine Capital due to flooding, and several bases had been attacked by outsiders. He chose to host the meeting today, specifically to deter these newcomers. Many seeing was brought to the venue. At this moment, Chen Guang said sternly, "This person, for impersonating an elder of our Dawn City, destroyed a base by trickery. I, by the order of the city leader, publicly execute this person. As a warning to you all, anyone who dares to impersonate a member of our Dawn City in the future, will meet the same fate as this woman." Upon saying that, Chen Luo released spatial slicing from behind the curtain. The next second, a force of space sliced through Yixing's neck. Watching such a beautiful girl get decapitated on the spot, scared the people in the audience quite a bit. Everyone expressed that even with 10 times the courage, they wouldn't dare to impersonate. Jiyu Changfeng was especially terrified, his face turning pale, thinking to himself, "Those people yesterday didn't lie. We can't afford to mess with this Dawn City for now." Then, Chen Guang continued, "Back to the main point. Those who need free seeds can come to us for registration. Same old rule. Half of the potatoes you grow should be given to us. Also, we have changed our recruitment criteria. Now we only recruit ability users above level 6. Hearing this, Jiyu Changfeng was shocked, thinking, "Is this even reasonable? As if everyone in your base is above level 6. However, Ling Weiwei, who heard this, immediately stood up, thinking, luckily, I've advanced to level 6. I can finally get rid of this burden. Then she coldly said, "Thank you all for taking care of me during this time, but I choose to join Dawn City. We are not on the same path." Saying that, she heartlessly left her teammates and went on stage, saying, "I am a level 6 nature element ability user, with the ability to improve seeds. I am very eager to join your Dawn City. Am I qualified?" Hearing this, Chen Guang immediately accepted Ling Weiwei. Chen Luo was also very satisfied with this new member, even personally taking her on a tour around the base, preparing to send her to Mungnan for experience exchange. But at that moment, Thunder King, who was idly roaming around the base, suddenly heard that unforgettable voice. A surge of painful memories flooded its mind. In a winter before the apocalypse, Thunder King, due to the cold, had taken refuge in a basement, unknowingly bumping into a girl. Thunder King thought it had encountered a kind person, but who knew, that woman immediately pinned it down, and then directly took out a knife to cut off a piece of its ear. For a moment, Thunder King's screams resonated throughout the entire parking lot. However, this venomous-hearted woman didn't stop there, and continued to violently assault it with her blade. In order to survive, Thunder King used all its might to bite Ling Weiwei's hand, but because she was wearing leather gloves, it couldn't do any harm. Seeing this, Thunder King didn't hesitate for a second, and immediately escaped from this woman's clutches. Had it not been for a kind old lady's rescue, this dog would have died in that cold and hungry night. It must be her. This elder would never forget that voice until death. Seeing that she had the ability to improve seeds, Chen Luo planned to hand her over to Mei Ning, but he was unexpectedly stopped by Thunder King halfway. Seeing its owner bringing its enemy into the base, Thunder King immediately let out a hate-filled roar towards Ling Weiwei, followed by non-stop barking. This scared Ling Weiwei quite a bit. Without saying another word, she hid behind Chen Luo and coquettishly said, "Oh my, this dog is so fierce. I'm so scared." At this moment, Chen Luo also sensed something was off. This was the first time he had seen Thunder King act so aggressively towards someone, even revealing a chilling intent to kill. So, he immediately brought Rice as a translator, but when Rice heard about Thunder King's experience, he instantly broke into a cold sweat. Then he showed an extremely disgusted look and said, "It's this wicked woman who cut off Thunder King's ear, and even stabbed it multiple times." Thunder King asks, "Do you still honor your promise to avenge its enemy?" Upon hearing this, Chen Luo immediately glared at Ling Weiwei, then directly questioned if she had ever cut a dog's ear in the past. Upon hearing this, Ling Weiwei was greatly shocked, thinking, why would he suddenly ask me this? Does he know about what happened back then? So she hastily said, "How could I possibly do such an unconscionable thing? Heaven and earth can testify. I have never done such a thing." Chen Luo paused, and from Ling Weiwei's expression, confirmed she was indeed guilty. Then he disdainfully said, "Whether you admit it or not doesn't matter. If our dog elder thinks you're guilty, that's enough. Should I kill her for you, Thunder King, or do you want to do it yourself?" Upon hearing this, Thunder King immediately barked, "I will avenge my own grudge." This scared Ling Weiwei quite a bit, and she immediately shouted, "Leader Chen, please spare me this once. I admit I cut a dog's ear, but I didn't mean to. I had just started working at that time, and I was continuously bullied by colleagues, so I lost control. Please forgive me this once." At this point, Chen Luo coldly said, "You take out your frustrations from others. I'm a little puppy. Is that it? A kick might have been overlooked. Thunder King would probably let it slide, but you cut its ear and stabbed it. Isn't that going too far?" Even Rice angrily added, "Forgiving you is God's business. What Thunder King needs to do is send you to meet God." Seeing Chen Luo remain indifferent, Ling Weiwei shouted in desperation, "You just praised me for being talented, didn't you? I'm a human. It's a dog. How can you side with a dog? You can't do this to me." But Chen Luo didn't pay any attention, and directly signaled for Thunder King to make its move. Seeing this, Thunder King didn't hesitate, and with all its might, swung a paw at her. Unexpectedly, Ling Weiwei, who was at level 6, wasn't injured at all, which immediately made Chen Luo realize something was wrong. Thunder King is level 8. By logic, she should be either dead or severely injured. Could it be that she awakened dual abilities due to extreme emotional fluctuation? Chen Luo wanted to warn Thunder King, but it was too late. At that moment, it was already blinded by hatred. Just as Thunder King prepared to launch another attack, a terrifying energy suddenly burst forth from Ling Weiwei. She abruptly transformed into a 5 to 6 meter tall monster, shouting, "I'm going to kill you all." This scared Chen Luo quite a bit. He quickly asked Thunder King if it wanted him to step in, but Thunder King refused his offer, insisting on taking its own revenge. Seeing that Ling Weiwei now had the power to battle Thunder King, to prevent damage to the base, Chen Luo immediately deployed a void banishment, transporting Thunder King and Ling Weiwei to an empty field. This way, Thunder King could go all out. It leapt high into the air for a thunderous tail swipe and harshly smacked it onto Ling Weiwei's face. But to Chen Luo's astonishment, the strike did not cause her any substantial harm. Thunder King didn't lose heart. It launched another thunder palm at her, but still to no effect. At this point, Ling Weiwei mockingly said, "Are you trying to tickle me? Did this dumb dog skip a meal? What can you do with such little strength?" This really ticked off Thunder King, who without hesitation unleashed a Thunder Whip combo at her. But just then, Chen Luo sensed something was off. Thunder King's attack speed was gradually declining, and its strength was also waning. Given Thunder King's level, it shouldn't be tiring out after just a few attacks. Could there be some sort of curse effect on this monster? Meanwhile, Ling Weiwei kept taunting Thunder King. "Come hit me, you idiot. Are you already panting after a couple of strikes?" Hearing this, Thunder King leapt forward to claw at her, aiming to shut her up. But Ling Weiwei's reflexes were incredibly quick. She slapped Thunder King to the ground with a backhand. At this point, Thunder King also sensed something wrong, feeling its strength continuously draining away. Through observing the battle, Chen Luo deduced what was happening. It seemed Ling Weiwei was using some technique to absorb Thunder King's power. Each time Thunder King attacked her, she would siphon off a portion of its strength. But at this time, Thunder King was already blinded by hatred, completely unaware of this. It kept attacking Ling Weiwei over and over again. After a while, both in terms of power and speed, Ling Weiwei was completely dominating Thunder King. Before Dog Elder could react, he was sent flying with a swift kick from her. Ling Weiwei arrogantly said, "Foolish dog. Still calling yourself Dog Elder? How about I cut off your other ear right now?" This scared Chen Luo quite a bit. He never expected that Thunder King, level 8, would be toyed with by her. However, it was precisely Ling Weiwei's words just now that thoroughly enraged Thunder King. "How dare you insult the elder title I've worked so hard for? I've never wronged you, yet you cut off my ear. Well then, taste my fury." Old grievances combined with new hatred made Thunder King completely fall into a state of rage. At this moment, Thunder King's body suddenly erupted with countless purple lightning bolts. After a few angry barks from Thunder King, the purple lightning around its body converged into a bolt of purple sky lightning, which furiously struck the black monster. As the purple sky lightning instantly shattered the black monster into pieces, Chen Luo was completely stunned, thinking that even he couldn't produce such destructive power. And what was the deal with the purple lightning? He had never seen Thunder King use purple lightning in his past life. Before Chen Luo could figure out what was happening, Thunder King collapsed with a thud. Seeing this, Chen Luo immediately went to check the situation. But Thunder King's first words were, "I didn't ask for your help. You can't take my points." He then asked Thunder King if the purple lightning was a newly acquired skill. Since he had never seen him use it before, Thunder King didn't know how to explain. So it lightly blew a breath towards Chen Luo. The next second, a strong wind ruffled Chen Luo's hair. At that moment, Chen Luo understood everything. Seems like this dog has awakened dual abilities. It's evident that its second ability is wind-related. So he immediately asked Thunder King to try blowing with force to see if it could generate a tornado. Upon hearing this, Thunder King didn't hesitate and took a big breath. As it exhaled, a hurricane was instantly created. This made Chen Luo extremely happy, thinking how this was all thanks to Ling Weiwei. If it weren't for her, Thunder King would never have awakened dual abilities. But why did she transform into a black monster just now? Usually, nature-based transformations are into various animals. Could it be that her abilities had fused? Like how Thunder King's wind ability had fused with its lightning ability, resulting in purple lightning. So by that logic, the earlier you awaken dual abilities, the more advantageous it is for ability fusion. At this point, Chen Luo suddenly felt that if he didn't work harder, he might actually be outdone by a dog. Especially considering that this dog now had nearly level 10 strength. Thinking of this, Chen Luo immediately challenged Thunder King to a race. "Let's see who can get back to base first. How about a bet of 100 points? Don't worry, I won't use Void Walk." Hearing this, Thunder King was instantly interested, thinking, what a great deal. With my 4 legs, I'm not afraid of your 2. As soon as Chen Luo yelled start, both man and dog immediately dashed towards the base at full speed. Who would have known that in the next second, Thunder King erupted with a whirlwind mixed with thunder around him. In the blink of an eye, he teleported hundreds of meters. This scared Chen Luo quite a bit. Wind Thunder Flash, you dare cheat against me by using skills, huh? Just as Thunder King was about to charge into the base, he was sent back to his original location by Chen Luo's spatial exile. Frustrated, Thunder King found Chen Luo and barked, "You cheat. How dare you use spatial exile on a dog?" Smiling slyly, Chen Luo responded, "I remember saying I wouldn't use Void Walk, but I never said anything about not using spatial exile. Besides, you used Wind Thunder Flash. You cheated first, okay?" After costing Thunder King 100 points, Chen Luo proceeded to the inner courtyard and found Rice circling around a flower. He immediately went up to warn Rice that the flower is poisonous. "It might not harm you physically, but it will make you dizzy and nauseous. Shall I pull it out now?" Upon hearing this, Mayu immediately shouted, "Leave the flower. Mutant plants can also be ingredients. Let me research this flower. It might solve the issue of tasteless fish." Subsequently, Chen Luo returned to his room to absorb the crystal. Just 2 hours passed, and he felt signs of a breakthrough. After enduring intense pain all over his body, he finally surpassed Thunder King and advanced to level 9. His physical condition reached a near king level, and his abilities were multiple times stronger than before. Thinking about this, he began to try fusing abilities. Ling Weiwei had fused nature and dark elements to create a transformation skill. Thunder King had fused thunder and wind to create Wind Thunder Flash. What kind of ability will I create by fusing space and time? To ensure nothing goes wrong, Chen Luo immediately called Rice, asking it to predict for him what would happen if he combined them. Rice then jumped onto Chen Luo and started sensing. Soon after, it said with a terrified face, "Chen Luo, I saw you die on the spot. So, you must never try that skill." Hearing this, Chen Luo was stunned, muttering to himself, "Is the consumption of this space-time ability so huge? Do I have to wait until I reach level 10 or king level to use this skill?" Thankfully, Rice warned him in time, or he almost killed himself just now. Early the next morning, a member of the intelligence group sent a valuable message, saying they saw a stunning beauty by the seaside, and that she could turn someone into an ice sculpture with just a breath. Upon hearing this, Chen Luo rushed to the beach without a word, because he suspected that the woman they mentioned was congealed frost. Indeed, it was exactly as he had guessed. But what he didn't expect was, as soon as congealed frost saw him, she ran towards the sea as if she had seen a ghost, mumbling to herself, "Why is it this rascal again? Is he here to destroy my shells?" At this moment, the puzzled Chen Luo was a bit baffled, thinking to himself, "Do I look that scary? Scaring away at king level expert the moment I show up." So, she ran and he chased. Just as congealed frost was about to jump into the sea, Chen Luo instantly used void walking to catch up and grabbed her, saying, "Why are you running when you see me? Do I look like a bad person to you? Don't worry, I have no ill intentions." However, congealed frost did not think so. She kept shouting, "You pervert. Let go of me now." Hearing this, Chen Luo immediately explained that the last time was just a misunderstanding. "You hear me out? No. Listen to my explanation. If you don't give me this chance, I can't guarantee if those 2 small shells of yours will remain intact." Upon hearing this, congealed frost instantly transformed back to her original form, and with a loud shout, "You despicable and shameless rogue." She immediately conjured an ice arrow aiming at Chen Luo. Then she coldly said, "If you dare to do any filthy things to me again, don't blame me for being ruthless." However, at this moment, a jellyfish suddenly emerged from the sea, blabbering, "Finally found you. I'm here on Poseidon's command to invite you to Poseidon's palace, and let me warn you not to try any tricks. Your dolphin friend is with us." Even though Chen Luo couldn't understand what they were saying, he could tell that this jellyfish had reached level 10. He was still missing 2 level 10 crystals. Should he kill it and harvest the crystal? But congealed frost was deep in thought. Clearly, this was a trap. Congealed frost wasn't foolish. Going alone was likely a one-way trip, but the guy in front of her had teleportation abilities. Didn't he? Last time, he teleported and saved Sea Princess right under her nose. With this thought, she immediately shouted to Chen Luo, "I have a favor to ask. Are you willing to help?" Hearing this, Chen Luo was taken aback. He hadn't expected a king-level expert to seek his assistance. Wasn't this the perfect opportunity to build a good relationship with her? He then responded with a grin. Helping others is my nature. Drawing my sword to assist is my hobby. Whatever you need, just let me know. Upon hearing this, Congealed Frost got straight to the point. My friend was taken by a great white shark called Poseidon. I want you to accompany me to Poseidon's palace. Can you use your special ability to help me rescue my friend? Hearing this, Chen Luo paused in shock, thinking that any adversary that makes Congealed Frost wary must be a king-level entity. Though the journey would be risky, Chen Luo immediately agreed to Congealed Frost's request. If she can hold off Poseidon, I'll rescue the dolphin and owe her a favor. If she can't even do that, then I can only apologize. Meanwhile, in Poseidon's palace, a walrus was seen fawning. Lord Poseidon, I knew that you and Congealed Frost never got along, so I took the liberty of capturing her friend, the little dolphin, and sent someone to invite Congealed Frost to the palace. But before it could finish, Octopus Bro suddenly burst out from the water, exclaiming, "Big trouble. The captured dolphin has tried to take its own life. It's on its last breath. What should we do?" Poseidon licked his lips. "Just eat it. It's more convenient." Just at that moment, the dolphin suddenly sent out a psychic message. "Dear Congealed Frost, please don't come to Poseidon's palace to save me. They want to use me as bait to kill you. Goodbye forever." Elsewhere, receiving this message, Congealed Frost suddenly stopped in her tracks. Tears welled up in her eyes as she said, "I just received a farewell message from a little dolphin to keep me from danger. It chose to end its life." Upon saying this, Congealed Frost shouted, "I'll take revenge for my friend. I'll never forgive this monstrous fake Poseidon." Seeing this, Chen Luo immediately stepped forward and said, "Don't act on impulse. If you go now, you'll be playing into their hands and betray the little dolphin's good intentions." But at this moment, Congealed Frost's eyes were clouded with rage. No matter what Chen Luo said, she wouldn't listen. She was determined to seek revenge on Poseidon. Seeing this, Chen Luo didn't indulge her any further. Using spatial exile, he immediately pulled her back, stating, "A gentleman takes his revenge even after 10 years. I promised to help you, but we need to plan this out." Only then did Congealed Frost start to come back to her senses, promising Chen Luo she wouldn't act recklessly. However, at that moment, sensing something was amiss, the jellyfish tried to slip away, but it was too late. Chen Luo lifted the void sword, coldly saying, "Do you think you can run faster? Or is my void sword faster?" With that, Chen Luo cleaved the jellyfish in two with a single stroke. He then solemnly promised Congealed Frost, "Give me 1 year, and I guarantee we'll work together to eradicate this menace." It wasn't just bravado from Chen Luo. With 2 or 3 more king-level crystals, he could reach level 10. By then, his power would be close to the king level. However, Congealed Frost remained skeptical, replying, "Don't brag here. You're no match for me. What makes you so confident?" Hearing this, Chen Luo immediately said, "You don't need to worry about that. Tell me, if I help you get rid of this menace, how will you repay me? After all, we are neither kin nor kindred, and I should get something out of this, right?" Upon hearing this, Congealed Frost quickly replied, "As long as you truly help me eliminate Poseidon, you can have whatever you want." This made Chen Luo extremely happy, and he whispered to himself, "This mermaid has finally taken the bait." He then took Congealed Frost back to the shore, and instructed her not to seek revenge on Poseidon on her own within the year. "Wait for my good news." Afterwards, he returned to the base in high spirits. Seeing his master return, Thunder King immediately ran excitedly towards Chen Luo. But to everyone's surprise, as soon as Thunder King opened his mouth, Chen Luo was drenched in cold sweat and shouted, "I must be hallucinating. Did words just come out of a dog's mouth? Everyone come look. Thunder King can speak." However, at that moment, Xiao Hai approached Chen Luo, saying, "The information you requested has been gathered. Here are the details of all the super-powered individuals who recently came to Divine Capital. Please take a look, boss." Chen Luo glanced over the information and quickly noticed 3 big red characters. She was someone from his past life who had reached king level with nature powers. Not only did she have excellent planting skills, but she also mastered a powerful transformation technique, allowing her to turn into a firebird or thunderwolf. She was undoubtedly a rare talent. Yet, another super-powered individual's name soon caught Chen Luo's attention. A wind-based super-powered individual in a future king-level powerhouse. However, this guy was an ambitious base leader, and recruiting him would not be an easy task. Chen Luo decided on the spot to recruit Lu Tianju first. After all, this woman didn't have much ambition, and winning her over should be easy. Thinking of this, Chen Luo immediately handed the information back to Xiao Hai, saying, "Brother Hai, you can go about your business. I have some matters to attend to." Meanwhile, elsewhere, Jiyu Chanfeng approached Lu Tianju. Upon meeting, he proposed they join forces and merge their bases. Unexpectedly, without even a second's consideration, she declined his proposal, saying she had no intention of merging. Hearing this, Jiyu Chanfeng was taken aback, then exclaimed, "Don't tell me you're thinking of joining Don City too, without hiding anything?" Lu Tianju confirmed his suspicions. "I'm actually planning to approach Leader Chen, and hope he can accept even those of us below the 6th rank into his ranks." This infuriated Jiyu Chanfeng, who muttered to himself, "I humbly asked you to join and you refused. Yet you want to kneel and beg someone who has set such high standards. You're really slapping my face." But just then, an alarmed shout echoed from the entrance. "Leader Lu, we're in big trouble. A massive horde of zombies is preparing to attack our base." Seeing an opportunity, Jiyu Chanfeng was elated, thinking to himself, "Isn't this the perfect chance to show off? If I can resolve this crisis for her, she'll surely reconsider and join me." The incoming zombies were led by Big Strong from the Brotherhood Alliance. After Big Strong violently blasted the iron gate open with a single punch, the horde swarmed into the base like locusts. Seeing this, Jiyu Chanfeng immediately took action, declaring, "With me here, you beasts won't advance another step." He then ordered 2 of his subordinates to hold Big Strong back. Fully understanding the principle, capture the leader first to defeat the enemy. He prepared to unleash his ultimate move against the lead zombie. However, with just 2 punches, Big Strong sent the 2 underlings straight to the underworld. Fortunately, Jiyu Chanfeng's ultimate move was already underway. With a powerful shout, he summoned a massive tornado aiming directly at Big Strong. To everyone's surprise, Big Strong not only stood firm against the attack, but also mocked. "Is that all you've got?" Seeing this, Lu Tianju transformed into a phoenix, releasing a continuous stream of flames from the sky to attack Big Strong, hoping to push him back with long-range attacks. However, in an unexpected move, Big Strong leapt high into the air, grabbed her wings, and violently slammed her to the ground. The scene greatly alarmed Lu Tianju, who realized the zombie's strength was at the 8th rank. "Is this where my tragic life ends?" Just as Big Strong was about to finish off Lu Tianju with a single blow, another zombie rushed over shouting, "Boss, we're in big trouble. Chen Luo from Don City is here. We can't mess with him. We need to run." At that moment, a bewildered Lu Tianju was utterly confused, thinking to herself, "What on earth? Zombies have bosses too?" What surprised her even more was that these zombies were afraid of someone from Don City. Before she could figure out what was happening, the horde of zombies began to scatter and flee in terror. Suddenly, a leg appeared from a vehicle, followed by Chen Luo stepping out, saying, "Little girl, are you okay? Do you need any help?" Upon hearing this, Lu Tianju was overjoyed, thinking, "Is Chen Luo really that powerful?" The zombie leader that neither Jiyu Chanfeng nor I could handle was terrified just hearing his name. Lu Tianju instantly became a huge fan of Chen Luo. With admiration in her eyes, she said, "Brother Chen, I've been wanting to join you for a while now. Can I team up with you from now on?" Although Jiyu Chanfeng was clearly annoyed, he didn't dare to show any disrespect in front of Chen Luo, because the difference in their power levels was too vast. Chen Luo, with a smile, responded, "Since you've asked so sincerely, from now on, you can be with me." Little did Lu Tianju know, Chen Luo was internally overjoyed, thinking how smooth recruiting her had been. All thanks to that kid, Big Strong. Then, a slightly embarrassed Lu Tianju continued, "I know that Don City only recruits members of rank 6 and above, and my people might not qualify, but could you give them a chance? Without me, they'll surely be bullied." Chen Luo, with a gentle smile, replied, "While I can't fulfill that specific request, I have an affiliate organization that can accommodate your people and ensure they're not bullied." After addressing Lu Tianju's concerns, he swiftly turned his attention to Jiyu Chanfeng, saying, "You must be Jiyu Chanfeng. Don't think I don't know about the spy you planted in Don City. Whatever you're plotting isn't my concern. But let me give you a piece of advice today. Before acting, weigh your own strength. Know what you can and cannot do. Use your head." Upon hearing this, Jiyu Chanfeng nearly wet himself in fear. Quickly nodding, he expressed his gratitude for Chen Luo's advice. However, Chen Luo didn't even give him a second glance, and left with Lu Tianju. Unable to retaliate, Jiyu Changfeng muttered to himself, Chen Luo, just you wait. One day, I'll have you beneath my feet. Meanwhile, elsewhere, there was a sudden phenomenon in Dawn City, where daylight swiftly turned to night. When Chen Luo rushed back to the base, he was stunned to see a massive black hole in the sky. Looking up, he saw Sea Princess floating in midair, her face contorted in pain. After an initial shock, a look of delight crossed Chen Luo's face, realizing that his sister was about to break through to the king level. Having experience in advancing to the king level himself, Chen Luo promptly advised Sea Princess, if you feel the energy is about to burst out of your body, try to gather it together, and then release it with all your might. Without hesitation, Sea Princess conjured a massive dark energy sphere, and hurled it towards an open space outside the base. Following a deafening explosion, Chen Luo hurriedly congratulated her. Congratulations on officially entering the king level. But before he could finish, Sea Princess suddenly hugged him by the neck, thanking him for his timely advice. Or she might have been torn apart by that immense energy. Let's go and take revenge on congealed frost now. Chen Luo, hearing this, broke out in cold sweat, thinking to himself, I just made peace with congealed frost. If my sister goes there with such aggression, won't it ruin my plan? As he was about to try and dissuade her, Sea Princess suddenly swept him off his feet in a princess carry, saying, just rest in my arms. I'll fly us there. The bewildered Chen Luo was utterly confused, thinking, this is bad. I can't stop her now. I must quickly find a way to mediate their conflict. Soon, Sea Princess, flying at incredible speed, reached the seaside. The journey was so turbulent that Chen Luo felt dizzy upon landing. But Sea Princess, with her fists clenched in anticipation, was eager to face off with congealed frost immediately. Seeing this, the puzzled Chen Luo quickly called out to Sea Princess, Big sis, can we discuss something? When you confront her, just give her a lesson. Don't beat her to a pulp. As for that mermaid, I'm confident I can recruit her to our side. Upon hearing this, Sea Princess immediately declared, since my brother likes this mermaid, I'll capture her for you right now. At this moment, Congealed Frost, who was seated on an island, also noticed Sea Princess, and thought to herself, you dare come here. Last time you managed to escape, but this time, let's see if you can pull it off again. Seeing that a confrontation between the two women was inevitable, Chen Luo quickly retreated to a safe distance to secretly observe the fight, thinking to himself, king level versus king level. Someone insignificant like me should stay out of this. Without any hesitation, Sea Princess released her dark eye technique against Congealed Frost, hoping to catch her off guard. However, Congealed Frost responded swiftly, interrupting Sea Princess with her Frost Bloom technique. This infuriated Sea Princess, who shouted, you damn mermaid, watch me beat you so hard today that you'll be searching for your teeth on the ground. She then launched another attack. Darkness Consumes, where a dark energy column, a meter in diameter, shot towards Congealed Frost. Surprisingly, Congealed Frost neither retreated nor dodged. Instead, she countered with her extreme cold solidification technique. The intense battle between them was like a standoff between two fierce opponents. All the while, Chen Luo watched from the sidelines, sweating profusely. After 800 rounds, neither had gained the upper hand. Both their powers were drained, leaving them unable to use any more special abilities. However, the fight didn't stop there. It escalated into an even more intense second round of king-level combat. Sea Princess raised her right hand, ready to strike. Congealed Frost, not to be outdone, immediately raised her arm to block the sudden blow, as she smirked with a look of triumph, saying, is that all? Sea Princess unexpectedly slapped her across the face with her left hand. Infuriated, Congealed Frost shouted, how dare you hit my face? You seafood, I'll end you. Without hesitation, the two entangled in a fierce hand-to-hand combat. Seeing that the situation was getting out of hand, Chen Luo rushed forward, grabbing Congealed Frost, and shouted, enough. Let's talk this through peacefully. Unexpectedly, as Chen Luo held onto Congealed Frost, she received another slap from Sea Princess. Seeing this, Congealed Frost shouted at Chen Luo, let go of me. I'll make this mermaid pay. This made Sea Princess even more furious. She yelled, how dare you shout at my brother? Let's see if I don't slap you senseless. Just as Sea Princess was about to slap again, Chen Luo quickly turned around to shield Congealed Frost with his back. However, Sea Princess suddenly halted her motion, thinking, why is my annoying brother protecting this mermaid? Oh, I remember now, he wants to recruit her. I should help him. With that thought, she began to pretend to furiously hit Chen Luo while yelling, "How dare you protect her? I'll beat you up, you annoying brother." Although she seemed fierce, her blows were light. Chen Luo caught on quickly, feigning cries of pain. This tactic seemed to work. Seeing Chen Luo so protective made Congealed Frost grow concerned about his well-being. After this dramatic display, Chen Luo pulled out 2 lollipops from his pocket and handed one each to Congealed Frost and Sea Princess. He said, "Misunderstandings aside, my sister here is our key ally against Poseidon. Let's talk things out." Congealed Frost responded skeptically, "Your sister is too brutal, even to her own brother. Maybe you should be my brother instead." Chen Luo smiled, "I only have one sister. How about you become my little sister?" After some mediation from Chen Luo, the 2 women reconciled. Congealed Frost even agreed to become Chen Luo's sister. Chen Luo then said in a serious tone, "Sister Congealed Frost, come back to the base with me. You and my sister can get to know each other's abilities. That way, we can work seamlessly together when we face Poseidon. I estimate in about 3 months, I'll be close to having king-level strength. Then, we can confront Poseidon together." Fast forward 2.5 months, Chen Luo finally advanced to level 10. Now, with pseudo-king level strength, he couldn't be easily defeated, even by a king-level opponent's most powerful moves. Afterward, Chen Luo immediately asked Rice, "With my current strength, what would happen if I used a space-time ability?" Without hesitation, Rice began to predict the outcome and informed Chen Luo, "Using that ability now won't kill you, but it would leave you in a vegetative state." Hearing this, Chen Luo became pensive, muttering, "Does this skill have such a high cost?" Thankfully, Rice predicted it for me, or I might have been tempted to try it. With that thought, Chen Luo instantly teleported outside the window and decided to test his king-level move called the Dimensional Blade. This skill can instantly defeat a king-level opponent and even severely injure those above king level. However, with his current strength, Chen Luo could only harness a quarter of its power. Upon activating the Dimensional Blade, he waved his hand, releasing an energy that sliced through a nearby mountain like tofu. The next moment, Chen Luo collapsed, exhausted from the effort, murmuring to himself, "Using that move at my current strength was too taxing. I must avoid using it unless absolutely necessary. Now, I should keep my promise. Tomorrow, I'll go with Sister Congealed Frost to settle our score with Poseidon." Congealed Frost and her group arrived at the seashore, ready to confront the imposter god, Bai Hao, in Poseidon's palace. After a 2.5-hour journey, Congealed Frost pointed out the beach ahead as the entrance to Poseidon's palace. At that moment, Bai Hao was leisurely sunbathing on the beach, unaware of the looming danger. Suddenly, Chen Luo shouted, "All irrelevant creatures, leave immediately. 3 king-level beings are here to confront Bai Hao. Those who don't wish to die, move aside." At his command, all the sea creatures quickly made way. However, Congealed Frost was intently focused on Bai Hao, mumbling, "Why is he wearing that armor?" Upon hearing this, Chen Luo looked closely and recognized the armor from a past life. It wasn't worn by Bai Hao, but by a king-level zombie. Chen Luo deduced, Bai Hao must have been killed by that zombie in his previous life, which is why the armor ended up on it. He also remembered that this unique armor would automatically deploy an energy shield when attacked. Thus, until the armor's energy was depleted, they wouldn't be able to inflict any real damage on Bai Hao. Hearing this, Sea Princess immediately suggested, "Then we should destroy its armor." Chen Luo shook his head in response, saying, "Doing so would be a waste of such a treasure. If possible, I'd like to take that armor for myself." At that moment, Bai Hao noticed the intruders in his territory. Without hesitation, he charged at Chen Luo and the others. Seeing this, Sea Princess swiftly cast a curse skill at Bai Hao. However, the gem on Bai Hao's armor shone with a brilliant white light, absorbing all the curse energy from Sea Princess. Stunned, Sea Princess exclaimed, "How is that possible?" Meanwhile, Congealed Frost launched her Icy Blossom attack. Not only did it fail to harm Bai Hao, but it also didn't even scratch his armor's shield. Completely taken aback, she yelled, "When did this imposter god become so strong?" Before everyone could react, Bai Hao threw a powerful punch at Chen Luo. Just 0.1 meters from landing on Chen Luo's face, Chen Luo quickly activated a skill called Spatial Banishment. The next moment, Bai Hao's punch hit nothing but air. Before Bai Hao could react, Chen Luo devised a plan. He instructed Zhang Choshui to cast Time Freeze on Poseidon. Although the skill would only last for 3 seconds against a king-level entity, it was enough time for Chen Luo to act. Zhang Choshui didn't hesitate and cast Time Freeze on Bai Hao. As a golden light enveloped him, Bai Hao found himself unable to move, as if he had been paralyzed. Seizing the opportunity, Chen Luo used Void Walking to appear behind Bai Hao. Without wasting a moment, Chen Luo, with the speed honed from being single for 20 years, removed the armor from Bai Hao in just 2 seconds. Seeing this, Poseidon was left stunned. Just as the time freeze was about to wear off, Chen Luo shouted, "Spatial banishment," and Bai Hao vanished from the spot. Chen Luo then gleefully wore the armor and ordered the Sea Turtle King to escort Millie and Zhang Choshui to a nearby island, anticipating Bai Hao's return for revenge. Before departing, Millie cast several buffing spells on the group and reminded everyone to be cautious. 2 hours later, Bai Hao returned, even more furious than before, shouting, "You despicable human! Return my divine armor or prepare to face my wrath." Chuckling, Chen Luo replied, "Such arrogance. I'd like to see what you're capable of. I'll also test out this armor's abilities." Bai Hao, infuriated, yelled, "Stop acting so arrogant in front of me. Give me back my armor." Chen Luo immediately stated there's no way he'd return it, challenging Bai Hao to take it back himself. But before Chen Luo could finish his words, Bai Hao mysteriously appeared right in front of him. Bai Hao's massive fist came hurling toward Chen Luo. At that moment, Chen Luo sensed something was amiss. The opponent had breached the armor's defensive radius, but the protective shield didn't activate. Before he could understand the situation, Bai Hao's powerful punch landed squarely on his face. With a painful scream, Chen Luo was sent flying. In shock, he thought, "Does this armor recognize its owner? Why doesn't it protect me?" Seeing the situation, Sea Princess didn't hesitate and blocked Bai Hao's path. She first used a skill to slow down Poseidon's movement, and then cast the Dark Eye on him. Congealed Frost also launched her Icy Blossom attack. Although both attacks hit Bai Hao squarely, they didn't even scratch him. Chen Luo, watching from behind, was terrified and muttered, "This guy's defense is insanely strong." Bai Hao then mockingly said, "Are you giving me a scratch massage? Ignorant sea creatures, today I'll show you my true power." With that, a terrifying aura emanated from Bai Hao, and a massive golden tornado enveloped him. Before anyone could react, a great white shark, with its jaws wide open, charged at Sea Princess. Sea Princess couldn't escape in time, but thankfully, Congealed Frost quickly used her powerful skill to freeze the shark, saving Sea Princess from a perilous situation. Chen Luo immediately instructed Sea Princess to unleash her ultimate move, Dark Devourer. Despite its immense power, the skill required a few seconds of casting time. Sea Princess wasn't entirely confident she could hit Bai Hao with it, but she obeyed her brother's instructions regardless. Just as Sea Princess began casting Dark Devourer, Chen Luo utilized Spatial Banishment, transporting Bai Hao, who was attempting to flee, directly into Sea Princess's attack. Before Poseidon could react, a powerful constricting force instantly overwhelmed him. Following a heart-wrenching scream from Poseidon, the sky echoed with agony. Even though the move was effective, Bai Hao's physical resilience meant Sea Princess had to expend a vast amount of energy to inflict damage. Within just 2 minutes, Sea Princess had exhausted her limits as her technique dissipated. Bai Hao broke free from her hold. Enraged, he declared, "Mere sea creatures dare oppose a god like me? None of you will leave here alive today." Bai Hao then lunged out of the water, his massive jaw filled with razor-sharp teeth, lunging at the duo. Observing this, Chen Luo realized the gravity of the situation. Both Congealed Frost and Sea Princess were too drained to evade. Without hesitation, Chen Luo teleported in front of them, grabbing their hands, and used Void Walking to escape. By the time Bai Hao tried to bite, he found only emptiness. Utterly bewildered, Bai Hao wondered, how did my prey escape just like that? Meanwhile, the trio had already reached a location hundreds of miles away. No matter how fast Poseidon was, he couldn't catch up to them. Congealed Frost said dejectedly, "Last time, this pseudo-god wasn't this powerful. Now, even with all 3 of us combined, we're no match for him. Brother Chen Luo, what should we do now?" Chen Luo responded, "No rush. Once I advance to the king level, I'll help you take him down." Soon after, they met up with Millie at the shore. On seeing them, Millie immediately asked about the progress. Chen Luo shook his head, it was challenging. Our plan failed. We need to rethink our strategy. Still, it wasn't a total loss. We managed to get Bai Hao's armor, though I don't know why it had no effect on me. Upon hearing this, Millie quickly inquired about the gem on the armor, suggesting Chen Luo. Do you think this gem might be the key to activating the armor? Upon hearing Millie's words, a realization struck Chen Luo. He immediately attempted to channel his powers into the red gem. Sure enough, as the gem absorbed the energy, it responded. With excitement, he said, "Sis, try hitting me with all your might." Without hesitation, She Princess threw a punch at him. To her surprise, her fist stopped half a meter from Chen Luo, blocked by a purple energy shield that suddenly appeared around him. Before Chen Luo could celebrate, he received a telepathic message from Zhao Shi. "Brother Chen, we have a problem. Big Strong just sent out a distress call. A zombie is challenging him for leadership, and they're fighting in an octagonal cage. Big Strong is on the verge of losing. We need your help right now." At that moment, the mutant zombie spoke arrogantly. "You have two choices before you. 1. Accept me as your leader. Or 2. I kill you right here and now. Choose quickly, I'm not a patient one." Unbeknownst to him, Chen Luo was already hovering above them. Seeing the audacity of the mutant, Chen Luo decided he would help Big Strong save face in front of his subordinates. Within a moment, Big Strong received a message from Zhao Shi. "Big Strong, don't panic. Brother Chen is here. He says that if you count to 3, the mutant in front of you will drop dead. Just pose as if you killed it, and it will all play out." Gaining confidence from these words, Big Strong shouted, "You're pretty bold, aren't you? Who gave you the courage to challenge me? Do you believe that if I count to 3, you'll be dead?" This statement left the onlooking zombies in doubt. Wondering if Big Strong had become overconfident, it was evident that the mutant had a higher level. And they weren't sure Big Strong could defeat him, let alone in 3 seconds. The mutant smirked and said, "Go on, count to 3. I'd love to see how you think you can kill me." Without any hesitation, Big Strong began counting. At this moment, all the zombies stared at Big Strong as if he was an idiot, eagerly awaiting the moment he'd embarrass himself. To be honest, even Big Strong had doubts. While he knew Brother Ching was powerful, he found it hard to believe he could kill a level 9 mutant without even showing himself. He silently hoped, "Brother, you better not be setting me up. I put everything on the line this time." As the 3-second countdown ended, Big Strong bellowed, "Die." Simultaneously, Chen Luo executed a spatial slice on the mutant. Seeing that the countdown was over, the mutant taunted, "Weren't you saying I'd be dead in 3 seconds? I'm still herein." Before he could finish, his head dropped to the ground. Witnessing this, Big Strong immediately began to boast, a mere firefly daring to compete with the sun and moon, a fool challenging my position as the leader. Who else here dares to defy me? Come at me all at once if you wish. With that, the entire crowd began chanting their allegiance to Big Strong, swearing to follow him loyally.